How's it going, guys? I'm Robert from Machado Visuals, and I want to talk about the sexiest part about filmmaking, backing up media. But seriously, backing up media is obviously something we all do, and it's important that it's done right. For the past 3 years, I've been using Hedge, which is backup software designed for filmmakers. It's super lightweight and optimized to transfer media super quickly. Copying and pasting isn't a very reliable way of transferring media, and what makes Hedge special is that transfers are verified with checksums and generates MHLs and transfer logs to re-verify backups later. Keep in mind that when you are backing up media, you should do so to multiple destinations and have them live in physically different locations. This is so that in the event of a catastrophic event, i.e. a drive failing, we still have access to our media. Now, before I actually get into Hedge, I first want to go over some general good practices when managing media. If you have time to prep, take out each of your cards and clear each one by formatting them in camera. That way, when you pull out a new card during a shoot, you have absolute peace of mind that it is clear and ready to go and won't run the risk of accidentally formatting an incorrect card. Stop showing up to sets with exposed cards that haven't been backed up. I'm looking at you, Tyler. Whenever I'm on a shoot, I'll make card labels from paper tape so that I can mark cards that have already been exposed. This also tells me which camera they came from and what roll it is. I'll stick the labels onto the card door so that whenever a card is full, I'll tape over the card contacts so that it can't accidentally be used or accessed without physically removing the tape. It's an easy step to forget, but creating camera labels will help tremendously when offloading at the end of the day. Now that you have your glorious media in hand, it's time to offload. To set up a transfer in Hedge, it's actually really simple. Just drag your media to your source tab and project folder to the destination. If you have multiple backups, you can also drag those to the destinations tab. In this example, I'll back up to my external SSD and locally to my laptop's internal hard drive. New to Hedge 20.3 are presets, which is a feature I've been waiting for ever since I started using Hedge. It makes it much easier when managing multiple sources of media, which is pretty much all the time. Each preset has its own independent counter, so Hedge knows the difference between different sources, such as A or B camera. To give you an idea of how this works, let's go ahead and make a few presets. When making a preset, you're presented with a few options depending on how you like organizing media. This is particularly handy for cameras that have an extensive folder structure, such as Sony cameras. I'll set the preset to ignore common files that don't really do much for us in post. I'll include XML, JPEG, bin, and IND files. I'll also flatten all the folders so that I don't need to dig through multiple folders just to find my footage. The filter function is also helpful if you take stills and want to keep them separate from video, so you can tell Hedge to ignore RAW files or JPEGs. Another great feature is the ability to rename files, and this is my saving grace when it comes to Sony file names. Most of you know my biggest gripe with the FX9 is its inability to increment card numbers, so this solves that issue for me. It's also super helpful with alpha cameras since they usually restart their file counter with each card, so now each clip will have a unique file name which will save you a ton of headaches in post. When renaming files, I'll be sure to include the source name, counter, an underscore, and file name so that I'm keeping the original file counter. Lastly, I'll create specific folders so that everything stays organized on my destination. Generally, I like to organize by month, date, year, and then source name and a counter. When I'm ready to transfer, I'll be sure to select the corresponding preset and it's off to the races. As I ingest cards from multiple sources, it's as easy as changing the preset and files are organized on a per media basis. When I check my work, I can see that everything is organized just the way I like it, and I know exactly where to find a specific clip from a specific card if I have to. This also makes it really easy to tell where clips are coming from in post. By simply looking at the file name, I can tell what camera it came from and what roll it is, and see the original file counter. I also want to note that when using higher caliber cameras, it's generally a good idea to just copy the entire card over as is, so you're not leaving any important metadata out that you might need later. To give you an example, this is the preset I've been using with my FX9 lately. To ensure you're getting the fastest possible transfer speeds, make sure you're not running into any bottlenecks such as using a slower card reader, using older media, or using slower destination drives. I generally use T5s for their speed and portability, but lately I've been using the newer T7 drives, which offers double the speed and can transfer entire projects in minutes. Another useful feature is Hedge Connect, which is an app for your phone that sends you a notification when a transfer is complete. This allows you to walk away from the computer, either to continue breaking down equipment or to simply grab a cup of coffee, and you'll know exactly when a transfer is done, so you can start offloading the next card right away. Organization is paramount, especially when running multiple cameras. Felicia Smith actually did a great video a few years back on data wrangling. I definitely recommend checking it out. If you're a student or educator, Hedge is offering their software for a 30% discount, and I'll also be giving away a copy, so be sure to check out the description for details. If you have any questions on this video, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.